Hello, welcome back to another episode of Pretty and Powerful. My name is Jerica Rose, and today I have Amber on the podcast. So she's going to introduce herself. She's a mom, she runs multiple businesses. So we're going to get into it. You want to do an intro background about yourself?
It's been a minute since I've been on a podcast, so I was waving to everybody. Hello, my name's Amber Springer, and I am a business owner, a mom. Um, we do a ton of different ministry type stuff, free Bible program, ministry in Uganda. We flip houses. We've got our hands in a couple different pots, and I'm a marketer for a wellness company. So that is what I do for a living. And I was a homeschooler for 4.5 years, but I just found this incredible private school that is like school upside down. It's a school for entrepreneurs. And so my kids have been in there for 2 years, and I don't really know what to do with all my free time now. But that's just a little bit about me.
Nice, nice. So you said your kids are in the entrepreneur school. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so
Really cool
nice.
academy. Yeah, they love it. They beg to go to school. They never want to have a summer break. All their friends are and their parents. It's just like everyone's very like-minded in how we want the unstructured school version. So it's been really a unique experience because I was raised in the public school system, and it didn't really prepare me for a lot of the stuff I'm learning on the job as a multi 6, 7 figure earner in different businesses. It costs a lot of money to learn those things. I want my kids to learn them now, like, how to be intrinsically motivated and how to, set SMART goals and that type of thing. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. And that's good. You kind of inspire me too because I have a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. But the 10-year-old, I'm trying to teach him like more of business independent, skills. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to teach this in school. So I love that you're doing that for them. That's good. That's good. So what is life for you like now? Besides, I know you running multiple businesses.
We moved to our dream state, Florida, when about 10 years ago, my husband and I came down. We lived in upstate New York, and that's where my husband's construction company was. And I worked full time, 3 jobs, because that's how many it takes to, pay your bills in this economy, even back then. So it's got to be crazier now. But I didn't get to spend much time with my son. I was picking him up from daycare at 5, 6 o'clock, putting him to bed by 7:30, and one day I didn't know his favorite color, and I was like, something's got to give. So I ended up putting all the pressure on my husband. I was like, you're in charge of the money now. I'm out. But I decided to homeschool. My son was not doing well in school. He had a vaccine injury. There were a lot of health complications. They kicked everybody out of school in New York that same following year that would not stay on the vaccination schedule, but we were in a holistic treatment because of his vaccine. So I didn't have a choice. So we went from giving up my, between my 3 jobs, $70,000-$80,000 salary to zero. And then all the pressure was on my husband and this construction company, which is a feast or famine type environment. Living in upstate New York, which is, not cheap. That if everybody knows New York ain't cheap. And I used to dream about Florida, come down every year. That would be our 2-week vacation. And we spent that well in Florida every single year, saved up all year for it. And it's just ironic now that I live here. Every day is a vacation, and entrepreneurship allows me to work when I want, live where I want. I live in the most premier community. If you Google #1 community to raise children in, you'll find the community that I live in. It's called Nocatee. It has 2 water parks for just the residents that live here. It's a golf cart. Kids can just go to any park within walking distance. There's just parks everywhere. It's so safe. And that's how we found it. We Googled it. But that was at the cost of a lot of entrepreneurial decisions that compoundly allowed us to leave New York. We left my husband's construction business behind. I went all in with marketing. I work for a wellness company, and during COVID, everybody needed disinfectant, everybody needed laundry soap and cleaning products, and they wanted to take care of their health. So it got really, really popular when everybody else's businesses were shutting down. Ours was growing like rapid fire. And so we made a very scary decision. He went from being primary income earner to me being the primary income earner. And It was a very, very risky decision, and all the pressure was on me, and he was homeschooling instead of me. And those were the, the trialing years. A lot of people aren't willing to take those types of risks. And we left New York State on a whim. We were on a vacation and just decided that we were never going back. And we rented another Airbnb, and then we rented another rental, and we never went back. I never saw my home after I left for vacation. It just gives you, like, entrepreneurship gives you the freedom to make the decisions. But a lot of people don't know, or they think they know. And I've seen some of your posts, so I know that that entrepreneurship ain't for the weak. like
Oh,
I did
no, it's
not.
not.
I don't think most people can do it. People are always like, can anybody do it? And I'm like, can I be honest? No.
Right.
You say for the weak, no victimhood allowed here. Like, you better get up and get at it because it's all on you. Like, but I like that because I'm in control and nobody controls me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
so
I
that's
think
what
that's
we're
the
gonna
best
do.
part of it. It's just that discipline too. And it's just like having that faith. It got to have together.
And a little bit of stupidity, just like enough to be like, this is kind of stupid. Yeah, yeah, you're very right. But here we go.
Right? Because I know
Trust in the
internally you've
Lord.
always been like, are we really doing this?
I took pictures. I was like, I took a picture of the moment we looked at each other. We were sitting outside at a church service in Georgia at the time, and took a picture of my two kids. So happy, and nobody was scared or anything. The only reason it was outside is because like they're under the 2 week, like, you got to be outside. And they just weren't scared, and they were so happy, and it was a beautiful day. Every day we were there on Lake New York, and I was like, we both just looked at each other and were like, we know this is it. And so, line up your ducks. And so we always say in our, community, like, dig your well before you're thirsty. So I dug my well, and it was extra until it wasn't, until it was everything. And now my husband, he doesn't work. He's actually getting his motorcycle license right now. He helps me, with whatever we've got going on. And then we invest all of our money. We try to still live a modest life, and take all of our extra income and invest it in real estate because we want generational wealth, not temporary wealth. And so a lot of people don't realize how much money we make, but because we don't flash it around, we very much are thinking about what our kids are going to inherit when the time comes.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't touch on that too. Like, what are you going to do with that money? Because if you don't know how to handle it or invest it, you're going to go back broke.
Well, I've already lost at least $1 million in dumb decisions. Like, get a good CPA. I could do a whole session on how a bad CPA will lose you $1 million.
Yes. And I'm still learning that too because I'm trying to have residual income. Like, I have a lot of plans for my kids and show
I
them
saw
stuff
your
that I
post
didn't get
about
to
that, and I
see.
was like, yes, you have the right vision.
Yeah. And I think that's how you drew to me too because I'm like, I like this woman. She's powerful. She's wearing pink all the time too.
It's like I live in this place where everybody's wearing a pickleball outfit every day of their life. They call it the Nakati uniform, and I'm like, everything's comfortable and everything is athletic and everything's about health here. Going on your weighted walks and going to the gym and going to get your massages and your matcha drinks and I'm like, this girl from the trailer park don't even. I'm like, where's the ramen noodle at? Like, so I'm
So it's
blending
that
in.
environment. It will make you that I can't even get it out. Elevate for real.
In all good way, in all the good ways, and all the
Yeah.
you don't have to elevate in the other way. This area is not filled with people like that. I thought it might be, like hoity-toities, but it's actually a lot of really grateful people that sacrificed a lot so their children could live in an environment that was safe, that was like the 80s. So that's like how they sell it here is your kids ride their bike to the park, they meet up with the kids, they play basketball together. Everything is it's food truck Friday, it's farmers market for the kids Saturday, it's Taco Tuesday, it's family bingo Thursday. Like, there's something every day of the week for the kids to do to keep them outside and off tablets and like living the bicycle, going for a walk, going fishing on the pier. Like, it's all here.
Yeah, that's amazing. Those are skills within itself.
Yeah, Yeah, I know. Especially for us apocalyptic people that were like, I don't trust the government, so we better learn how to grow something and kill something.
Yeah.
Shoot a deer, catch a fish, and make some sourdough.
Right. I've been seeing a lot of sourdough too lately. I'm like, is this the thing now?
I think it's the thing because everyone's allergic to gluten, and sourdough is easy to digest, and people miss their bread. And
Oh,
sourdough's in the Bible like 55 times. It's
wow.
a biblical food. I can't make it. Don't ask me, but I'll buy it. I'll be your number one customer, baby.
That's good to know. So, is there any like major challenge or number one challenge that you got through, and how'd you get through it?
Huh. Well, the switching of roles biblically was really, really hard for me as a woman of faith because it went from me serving my husband, which I was very happy to do. I was bored, like in my brain, because I'm so used to doing legal work and research and listing houses and court cases, and that was my career before on marketing. And so for that gap of time, I'm just a mom. Not that there's such a thing, but you know what I mean. Like, let's just say the quiet thing out loud. I felt like I was just a mom wiping butts, cooking the crock pot meals because I ain't no chef. And, waiting for my husband to get home. And he's the only, person I'm going to talk to today because the kids are this and the house is a mess. But I don't know what I did all day. And, like, I lived that life for just long enough to hate it. And I'm like, this is not for me. But then when I was like, let me find something for myself. And I got into like this MLM company. It looked fun. And I thought tax write-offs, it was a wine company. And I was like, ooh, wine clubs, like what? I'll have some friends. I'll get out. I'll call it work. I'll travel, like whatever. But I got into it and I really saw the vision of network marketing. And and they were like, wow, you're amazing at it. You're like the best. Like, will you train this? Will you train on stage? Will you do all this? But I was like looking at my paychecks. I'm like, I mean, I had a career before this. And I'm like, is this what the good people make? Because this is some whoa crap. Because I was making 18 grand a year in this MLM and they were like, you're top 10. I'm like, that is scary. You should probably look into that. Like, I don't think that's a good thing. And there was no residual income like you had talked about earlier. So like it all falls apart when you don't have new recruits and fresh people to partner with you for a business opportunity. And like, I just didn't know all of that until I was in the thick of it. But I saw the dream and I was like, if there are people that are making money and there is a repeat income, passive income way to do this, like sign me up. So I did that. I put my hand in the pot and I was like, I don't know, we'll try it. And my first check was like $378. And I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. And then it just went wild after that. And then when my husband and I left and I became the primary income earner and he was staying home and homeschooling, our marriage got weird because he was the one bringing me food while I was working and he was the one doing all the dishes and all the laundry. And I'm working my guts out because I feel like the pressure of the whole world on my shoulders. And he's homeschooling and he barely graduated high school. Like, I'm just a high school sweetheart. Like, he missed 87 days. The only reason he passed because his mom was on the board. Like, we were high school sweethearts. I met him when I was 14. And I'm like, he cannot be homeschooling my kids. Like, I was top of my class. Like, I got to be the one. But I didn't know a way. So I went to the Lord literally, like, metaphorically and physically slapped me up with the Bible and was like, your house is backwards and you need to fix it. And so I decided I was going to give up working as much as I was and go back to being more of that home wife. And I was willing to lose the income and I was going to make financial sacrifices for it. But ain't he too good for that? Because I did. I went back to homeschooling. My husband went and got a little fun thing outside of the house every day. I packed his lunches. When he came home, the house was clean. I prepped dinner. I got better at cooking. And then I would just work for my 2-hour lunch break, an hour before they did homeschool and an hour or two before bed. Like most people that are in network marketing that are using it as a supplemental income. And I really gained a lot of appreciation from that too. Like I really could relate to what that looked like. And I did that for years and my income doubled during that time. And it has since even doubled again since then. So there is a lot to be said about being intentional and also like living in a way that is good for your home and for your family. Like so many network marketers get burnt out and they feel like they have to sacrifice their family and their family time. And it's easy to do that with any company. if you just don't know how to spend your time the best that you can spend it. And I just realized there was a lot of stuff I didn't need to be doing and a lot of stuff that mattered more. And I just started doing that.
Amen to that. That's why I have to stick to my planner, because
Yeah.
I don't write stuff down. I feel chaotic in my mind, in my household, and it all reflects in my business. So, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Stick to the plan. It's
Yeah.
time blocking saved me so much so that I didn't end up like sitting on the couch pretending I'm spending quality time with my family and sending voice notes while they're trying to watch a movie. Like, that's what's the point? What makes that any better of a lifestyle than the one where your boss is emailing you at dinner time asking you for pull up a case? Like,
Yeah.
so. Those are the
Yeah.
that was the big obstacle, and my people watched me do it out loud. I publicly declared it. I publicly exposed myself. I publicly walked through it to encourage people. And one of my very good friends, she's my support team in my company. She's just an incredible woman. She's just broken so many records, but she was burning out. I mean, you got it when you're doing it on that level, making that much kind of money. And she said, "You saved my marriage by walking that out loud and reminding me that I can be a boss baby, a boss babe, and I can still be a good and present wife and mother."
Ooh, I can shout all day and talk about that, because once you have the basics down, you'll get through certain things. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, what's a tip you would like to share with the audience? Being intentional.
Yeah. I mean, I maybe like reading a book. Like I coach with this guy named Jeffrey Combs. I had imposter syndrome. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before. I had never heard of it. I could never imposter anybody because I was Jenny from the block, being Jenny from the block. So like when I started leveling up and having to become, so some people are like, "Oh, you're becoming someone you're not," and I'm like, "No, I'm growing. I'm advancing my like the way my mind thinks. I'm taking the lid off of the poverty mindset that I had." But I was stuck in a space for a while where I had accomplished things I had never in a million years thought were even people could do. I'd never even met anyone that had done what I'd done, and so I had a lid. And I could not get through this lid, and it was part of that same season of like burning myself out. I bought a brand new Cindy Crawford couch, my dream couch, and I didn't sit on it for a year because I was like adult ADHD, and I start the laundry and I didn't finish it because I saw that I got to unload the dishwasher, and then I got to go answer all these questions, and I'm at the drop of a hat for anybody that needs me for anything, and just stupid. But it was that self-sabotage, overwhelmed, overcommitting. And so one of my friends who had used him as a coach in the past, he's a coach for seven-figure earners since the 90s, and he specifically coaches seven-figure earners that are children of narcissists and addicts. And my mom was both. And so was my dad. I was born to two heroin addicts. And so we broke down so much of what was triggering the self-sabotage, triggering the savior complex of like, I gotta save everybody. I spent so much time trying to save people. That ain't my job. That's Jesus' job. What am I can't take his job. Who's gonna do his job if I'm not gonna do it very well either. But I was, all of this stuff just busying myself up and then procrastinating the important things and substituting them for unimportant things, and then scrolling into the rabbit holes of TikTok and whatever else. And so I read a couple of his books, and you can get them if you want. I think they're amazing. They're super short reads. I usually have them right out in front of me. There's one's called The Breakthrough Factor, and one's called The Procrastination Cure. And I have everyone on my team, I read them out loud on Monday Mindset. So if you don't read it, you're going to read it. And it really just breaks down like the 5 categories of people in the self-sabotage. I mean, most everybody is just one level of self-sabotage away from their next breakthrough. And once you recognize it, you can overcome it. But he goes, most of these don't make sense to people, which is why they're blind to them. He was like, he could just tell. He was like, were you an older sibling? Did you have a younger sibling that you felt like you were responsible for and you had to take care of, and you had to grow up sooner than you were supposed to? And, and I'm just like,
You get speechless, right?
He's like, I can tell because you do this, this, and this, and this. And I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
And so breaking through those limiting beliefs, and not like in the woo woo way. I'm not a manifester. I'm not a put a Ferrari on a freaking like dream board person. I'm a do person. I
Right.
execute. But if things are impeding my execution, I need to identify why and then deal with it emotionally and spiritually, and then walk it out as a result. And so that's what I've done. And as a result, my income has went through the roof. I've mentored more people than ever to make the most money ever. And it's because I'm healing. I'm healing out loud. And I ain't done yet. Everybody knows, and I say all the time, healing not healed.
Right? It keeps on going. You
It ain't never
just got
over.
to be here for the show.
Never over. But, and then sometimes I act unhealed still. Okay. So that's where the grace comes in.
And that's why I actually had to check myself into therapy, because I was having a little conflicts battling with my mind, and then my boyfriend, I just feel like he just didn't understand, and then a lot of his childhood traumas came up, so I'm like, hold up, let's back up. And when I got there, it was more about my relationship, but she broke it down. It was more of my childhood, how my mom treated me, why nobody was there for your needs, everyone around you was for themselves, so I had to become the savior. So I get it. Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of us, and it's helped me mentor people as well, because when I can identify these things out the gate when I'm mentoring somebody, we can address some things. I can just help people get through them faster than it did for me.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. All right. I'm so happy and grateful that you showed up, Amber. This was beautiful. So where can the people find you?
Mostly I live on Facebook. My name's Amber Springer, and that's where you'll find me. I'm on Instagram, and it looks like I'm pretty popular over there. I'm not. I have some followers and whatnot, but and I really should use it more. I just, Facebook for me it's so much more personal for me. I really feel like I find the people that Instagram is like transactional so much. Everyone's selling something. Everyone's an influencer. I'm not an influencer. I am an ordinary person doing extraordinary things, and that's where I find them. Ordinary people is on Facebook.
Yeah. Amen to that. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll link all of her information in the show notes, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.